listening and watching to a very special podcast. Here we continue where we left off. Here we go. Benjamin was just looking for other researches when he stumbled across Rory. "Oh, Stephanie, I thought I would find you here." However, Rory pulled out her piece of paper and wrote something down and showed it to him. It said on there, "Hey, remember that traumatizing event that I saw? And you comforted me? And you promised that when I got older, you would tell me about it? Would you like to talk about it with me now?" Ben didn't know what to say. "Are you sure you want me to tell you?" Rory nodded. "Stephanie, I warned you. This is going to be really hard for you to know. I hope you remember this. And if you ever... I don't want you to be like him." Rory nodded. She wrote down her answer that said, "I appreciate it, because I don't want to." "All right." "What you saw in there, you are aware of my father's queerness. But he had to force two guys to go at it at each other in a more brutal fashion for his masterpiece. It's really... I had to sit there and watch my mind. My mind felt very petrified, Stephanie. I could never forget what I saw." Rory looked like she was gonna throw up. It was a brutal mess. Oh, I felt like I wish I could wash it away from my mind. It was the most horrible thing I have ever seen. Please, don't do any of this. Trust me. Your mind can really not forget what has been seen and cannot be undone." That made Rory feel a little better. She then wrote down her answer. It said on the piece of paper, "Thank you for telling me. I know it must be hard for you, but I understand." Were those two guys queer lovers? Yes, they were. I see. I'm really sorry about all this. Oh, Stephanie. Ben went closer. He then put his hands on her shoulders, and Rory let him. Even though Rory did not like to be touched, the only touch he allows is Ben's, because Ben's embrace feels so warm and comforting. Then, Rory then wrote something else down, and it showed saying, "I miss your touch. It was so comforting, so warm. Not rough and not so dirty like your dad." However, she couldn't help herself and just dropped her pad and pen and put her arms around Ben. "Ben, where are you?" The two of them pulled away, gasping. They looked over and they saw Taylor looking shocked. "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know she was there. Is that the girl? The one that saved her?" "Yes, this is." That's when Rory picked up her piece of paper and pen. She wiped her mouth, and all of a sudden, she wrote down something on a clean piece of paper. You must be Taylor. I've heard a lot about you. I've been watching you. You seem like a nice guy. Taylor looked a bit flustered, but he smiled and said, Well, thank you. That's very sweet. However, Taylor noticed that Rory's face looked flushing. Even Ben's looked a little bit, shades of red a little bit. Did something happen between you two before I got here? Rory then began to look like she was gonna cough, but she didn't. She just looked so embarrassed. No, you didn't interrupt. It's all right. It was just, she and I were just talking. That's when Taylor noticed, Ben, you're bleeding from your mouth. Oh, right. Rory then turned a bit crimson. She looked pained. However, Ben assured her, Don't worry, it's nothing. Nothing like that. Can I help? Taylor said, No. I'm all right. Really, I am. Oh, damn. You actually bit me, Stephanie. I can't believe you bit me. Rory looked a bit embarrassed. That's when they both jumped at a loud voice. What the hell is this? Rosemary was angry. Her hair was long and flowing but untidy. She was wearing a different dress. It was a red one, and she was steaming with anger. What is this? I know what was going on between the two of you. Rory was a bit scared at first, but she managed to glare at her sister. No, Rosemary, it's not what you think. She and I were Oh, really? It's kind of strange, considering the fact that she's going to be 16 soon, and you just couldn't help but put your dirty hands on her. Don't even say that. Please. It's not what you think. Oh, really? Then why did I saw her just necking with you, huh? What? Taylor said. No. Rosemary, please. You actually make me believe that you cared, loved me. But you never loved me. You never even cared for me. You only care about is your darling Stephanie. Well, what about me? What about Pansy? Do we matter to you? Do we? Tell me, do we matter to you at all? No, we don't. We don't matter to you. We're just your little puppets. We're your little used toys from your little toy box. We're nothing. You are never toys. And I don't consider you as replacements. I never really would do that. I would never wanted to hurt you. Rory felt a bit annoyed. She thought this whole entire situation was becoming almost like a soap opera. That's when Rory had to pull out her piece of paper and wrote something down viciously and showed it. Ben and Taylor were trying their best not to laugh. Rosemary looked angry at this. What said was, Rosemary, shut the hell up. You're sounding like an overly dramatic soap opera actress. Stop being so freaking dramatic. It's driving me crazy. You're just like one of those women scorned from those TV movies I used to watch. So cut it out. Stop being like this. Rosemary was flushing. Do not compare me to a freaking character from a soap opera. I never liked soap operas. They're always filled with sexual things. They're filled with sexy stuff in it. Rosemary looked a bit like she was defeated. Rory then flipped the page over and wrote something down that said, "Sister, not all soap operas are like that. They kinda are. I hate soap operas. They're so overly dramatic. They're filled with lovey-dovey." But Rory wrote down next saying, "That's the whole idea. I can't believe you would even watch that crap." Rory looked a bit angry. Ben couldn't help himself. "You watch soap operas? Since when?" Rory just rolled her eyes. She flipped the page over and wrote something of her answer that said, "I used to. It was the only way to deal with my pain. It was the only way to console myself, but I couldn't even watch the intimate parts. Sorry. I can understand." "Well, you're comparing her to a soap opera character. That's really something. I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't laugh at this, but you've gotten quite a funny streak, Stephanie." Rory had to smile a little. "Quit smiling, you freaking bitch!" Ben was stunned. "Rosemary." "She's a bitch, Ben. Just because she's mistreating you, using you. She is nothing. She is nothing. The way she bit your lip as you two were lip locking makes me sick. I thought we had something special. But it was all a lie. All a lie. All a freaking lie!" Rosemary shouted. Her telekinesis were going out of hand. "Rosemary, please. I'm sorry. I've always cared about you. But I loved Stephanie first. I'm sorry." "She's underage!" "But in most countries, when you're turning 15 or 16, it means you're a grown woman. That means you two can actually have one night together." Rory was terrified. She wrote something down that said, "I never want to have intimacy, despite my age. And I'm trying my best to keep myself in self-control. But I guess watching too much TV, it taught me how to feel. And I feel like there's no appeal to real life. Now, isn't there?" However, Rosemary said, "Well, I already played with my boy toy. Poor Yuichiro Hyakuya. Man, he's gonna have to remember this for the rest of his life. But also, I'm going to do a little more fun with Koreto Haragi. I've been hearing about your little phone call, Ben. I must say, it seems the agents of Evermore are going to get even more into your case, and they'll find out more of the truth from you. So be prepared, my darling." And she went away, disappearing. Rory felt a little embarrassed, and she wrote something down. She then pulled out her phone and she flipped it open. A text message said, "Need you now." Rory sighed. What said on the notepad said, "I have to go." "All right, next time?" Ben asked. Rory nodded and she skipped away. Thank you so much for listening and watching. See you next time.